Walker. She's a redshirt freshman. Taylor Milton's going to be one of the senior leaders on this squad. She'll be on the outside as a hitter. Sabrina Clayton, just a sophomore. Danny Rotman will be the libero. She is a junior. And rounding things out, the freshman setter, second in the nation in assists per set. Kirsten Meade, the Palo Alto native, leads the Broncos as the quote-unquote quarterback of the offense. Meanwhile, for the Oregon Ducks, Maggie Scott will be the setter, another freshman setter in this one. Frankie Chevy, a talented freshman outside hitter. She got all Pac-12 freshman team honors. Liz Brenner got all Pac-12 team honors in general. So did Martine Bettendorf. Those two in the starting lineup. Casey Nady, Serena Warner in the middle. And Amanda Benson is the libero for the Oregon Ducks, 10th seeded in the NCAA tournament. There was worry at some point on Sunday they may not host at all. Instead, they get that 10 seed. A lot of respect for what this team did this year at 21-9 overall, 11-9 in a very tough Pac-12, and they earned this hosting spot.
Not only a lot of respect for what this team has done, but I think a lot of respect for the Pac-12 conference in general. As you mentioned, the toughest conference in the nation in volleyball, 10 teams representing the Pac-12 conference in this tournament. And as the Oregon players are getting announced, there is a lot of hype in this building, a lot of hype surrounding this team, seeing if they can make it out of this first round, make it far in this tournament. They're not going to be able to do it if they played like they did up in Corvallis. Hopefully they've kind of regrouped, had a good week in practice, and hopefully come out on fire, because this Santa Clara team, you can see it in warm-ups. They were ready. They were very focused. They weren't messing around. They were out there. They're putting good swings on the ball in warm-ups, digging balls out, doing a great job warming up, and they're ready for this game.
Couple tickets to the second round have already been punched today. BYU, Alabama, Florida State, Arizona State, and Illinois State are through. So too are the LSU Tigers. They're sitting on the east end of Matt Knight Arena right now, watching and waiting. They get one of these two teams tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific time here in Eugene. It's going to be Oregon, or is it going to be Santa Clara? We'll find out here in a matter of minutes, as the Ducks have come out to a pretty good crowd at Matt Knight Arena and filled in very late, but it filled in well here at one of the nicer venues in the Pac-12 and probably in the nation as well. Martine Bettendorf, the last one out, gets a nice ovation from this good crowd on a rainy Thursday night in Eugene, Oregon. Ryan Rillard, Zach Bigley, Preston Highfield back in the studio for us on KWVA. And for those of you on Go Ducks, our thanks to Scott LeBounty and the crew downstairs here at Matt Knight Arena for putting the video production together. Santa Clara goes in black, maroon sleeves. Oregon all white, green shorts. Ducks will work on the west side of the arena. Santa Clara to the east. Number 10 versus number 46 in the RPI in this first round match at the 2014 Division I NCAA volleyball tournaments. For Oregon, the first set's been a big deal this year. The Ducks do a lot better when they win that first. 16-2 in winning it, 5-7 when losing it. They lost it on Friday last week in Corvallis. Big first set for them, I think, here tonight to come out and really turn that tide.
Absolutely. It's all about how they come out in this game. They came out very flat against Oregon State. Were absolutely dominated on the defensive side of the ball there. Let's look to see if they come out on fire, give Bettendorf a lot of looks on the right side, and also Serena Warner up the middle.
Got to defend well on the serve as well. Santa Clara third in the country, 1.83 service aces per set. They are led by Sabrina Clayton, the sophomore hitter who will go back a couple times as we wait for the clearance to go from Matt Knight Arena in Eugene. The student section behind us has filled in well. The general public has filled in well. And there's a sea of purple in the corner as the LSU Tigers waiting and watching to see who they get tomorrow afternoon in the sub-regional final. Santa Clara gets first serve in this one. It's the freshman Kirsten Meade, the Palo Alto, California native, the freshman of the year in the West Coast Conference. 11.99 assists per set this season, and she will get this match underway with our first serve of the evening. It goes just over to Brenner, right side. Scott to the middle. Martine Bettendorf to the back. Up comes with Rotman though. Left side, Sabrina Clayton to swing, and she is blocked. Martine Bettendorf and Serena Warner stuffing back, and Oregon's up 1-0 with a block.
And right out in the beginning, start out with good defense. Martine Bettendorf, usually not a defensive player, she stays in, and she gets the block back for the Oregon Ducks.
Amanda Benson has Oregon's first serve of the evening. Comes left side for Taylor Milton. Left side, she goes lefty, swings, hits the antenna. Out of play, 2-0 Ducks in the early going. Benson will go back again. Moved a little bit further back earlier in the year and then has since come back forward a little bit more as her starting point as she fires into the Santa Clara defense. Milton fields, comes back, Here's Nikki Hess a swing. Benson gets it. Now right side. Bettendorf a swing. Hess to her knees, gets it again. Her field, though, goes all the way back over and out of play. They get 3-0 Ducks just like that, and that's exactly the start they were looking for.
Looking to come out hot, and that's exactly what they did. Great swing there. Put Hess back on her heels. Was not able to get it up into play.
Keep Benson on serve. The sophomore libero from just outside of Phoenix serves to Hess. They go right side. Sabrina Clayton a swing, and Sabrina Clayton a kill, shooting it off of a diving Liz Brenner. And there's your sophomore from San Ramon, California, the leader on this team in aces, but also having a good year with the swinging. Second in kills at 3.32%.
A swing for the right side, and the Broncos are on the board just like that.
Clayton will serve from the back. Bettendorf takes it right side. Scott to the middle. There's Casey Nady swooping through, and Casey Nady has the kill.
Beautiful quick set there. Not even more than a foot off the net. And Nady just put it down for the kill. Beautiful swing there.
Just over 2% this year for the sophomore from El Cajon, California. All Pac-12 honorable mention season for her with her 2.02 kills per set as Chelsea Ashen comes in serving Clayton. They go to the middle. Natasha Calkins redirects that swing to the left side of the floor. Oregon's defense not able to catch up to it, and Calkins gets the Broncos back within 2 at 4-2.
Well, we talked about them being quick. That was a very quick possession right there. Very quick set, and put it down right on the left side. Perfect swing.
Now it's the libero, Danny Rutman. Santa Barbara, California native will run from way back on that left side. Jump serve it to the back for Brenner. Ashen will set to the middle. Nady with a swing. Through the block, kept up by the Broncos, though. They go to Hess, left side. Her swing to the back is long. It was not tipped, and Oregon's up 5-2 on the miss hit by Hess and the Broncos.
Big start here. 5-2 lead for the Ducks. Wanted to come out quickly. It's exactly what they're doing. Taking control of this game on both sides of the ball. Looking good so far.
You see Chelsea Keogh for the first time for Oregon. Junior defensive specialist serves right side to Milton. They go left side to Hess. Her swing is wide right. Again, another error for Hess. Another point for Oregon. The Ducks up 6-2 in the early going.
Just trying to do too much there. Trying to go cross court. You need to just get that ball in. Oregon's defense was a little late on the quick set. Need to make those errors very few and far between.
17 in white. Chelsea Keogh serves Milton. The Mead goes left side. Hess a swing. Benson digs it out. Ashen from the right side. Goes to the left. Nady a swing. Nady a kill. Nady splits the defense, and it's 7-2 Oregon early on.
Nady's second kill already. Her third swing of the day. And just like that, John Wallace will call a timeout for the Broncos.
Santa Clara not wasting any time coming back to the bench. The Broncos not coming out like they wanted to, and on the opposite side, exactly what Oregon was looking for in this first round matchup for them. 6 days removed from a really rough week, losing at Utah in 4 sets, losing at Oregon State in 4 as well. And it's not the teams they lost to necessarily, it's the way they lost. And it was pretty rough, especially on Friday. They could not get a lot of offense going. They couldn't get a lot of defense going. This team has made its name being very balanced this year. A lot of offense for this group. They hit 255, and they held opponents to 201 hitting. This group did a lot of things right in the regular season, rather. It's why they're number 10 in the country, and they're trying to find those roots right here again tonight.
Exactly. All week we've been talking about, can they play like they have been playing all season, not like they have been in the past week, and they've come out just on fire, absolutely destroying the ball on the defensive side and the offensive side, just getting up on blocks. Santa Clara has been playing very quickly, and they could use that to their advantage. A couple missed opportunities early, so it's not a complete domination, but Santa Clara has had some open opportunities that they missed.
Broncos have burned their first time out. You get 2% in the collegiate volleyball world. Oregon will break its title after Santa Clara has already returned to the floor. Broncos had some good wins in the regular season, knocking off BYU at home, going to Loyola Marymount and winning, going to San Diego and winning, and hosting Duke and winning. They swept the number 20 team in the country at that point. The Dukies are in the tournament as well. There are a lot of tournament teams that both these teams have played in the regular season. As Keogh will serve out of the timeout. Milton takes it in the back. They go right side, left-handed. Milton swings across to Keogh. Ashen in the middle, Nady a swing, blocked back, but Benson covers. Ashen right side, Brenner a swing off the block to the floor, and it's 8-2 Ducks, just like that, with Brenner picking up her first kill of the night.
Not what the Broncos wanted out of a timeout. They want to come back, get another point, get closer to the Oregon lead, but it's now 8-2 Ducks through 10 points.
More from Keogh. Junior serves across, Milton mishandles. Mead gets over there anyway, though. Has to swing across to Benson. Ashen right to left. Taylor August, newly in, will swing across to Clayton, who digs it out. Now right side, it's a swing from Milton, shooting off of Ashen into the back row of Matt Knight Arena. And Santa Clara finally signs out a 4-0 run. Broncos down 5 at 8-3.
They really needed that point just to kind of break the momentum, stop the bleeding that Oregon has been putting on here.
Taylor Milton will serve. Just got her third straight WCC honorable mention spot. She tosses it way up into the Matt Knight Arena ceiling. Keoho digs out her serve. August swings a swing left side. Milton's there. Now to the left side they go. Hess another swing long. A third error for Hess early on, and it's 9-3 Oregon. And Hess, we saw earlier in the match before, Oklahoma had its leading hitter basically shut out. Hess needs to avoid doing the same thing or Santa Clara's in trouble.
Absolutely.
And Eddie will serve here. Hess takes it left side. Meade goes right side. A nice set to Katie Edwards, who comes through on the slide. She picks up the kill. And Santa Clara down 9-4 here in the first. And as I mentioned, Kira Holst for Oklahoma hit 0. Sooners, a very good offensive team coming in, were just shut out. And now as Hess goes back to serve, they really need her to pick it up. But 3 early errors have her hitting negative .500 on her first 6 swings. Sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona, made the All-WCC first team this year as she serves Keoho. They go Ashen and Warner in the middle. Then on the ball back over, Edwards tries to dump it across. Warner's right there, though, sends it back. And it is 10-4 Oregon on another point for the Ducks.
Good to see Warner up there with the block on the last point. Her and Brenner needed to come together. There was a little bit of a gap. It went off Brenner where Warner should have been, and it was a point for the Broncos. Good job there by Warner.
Maggie Scott back in. The freshman setter will serve to the back. Milton takes it. They go right side slide for Edwards. Dug out for a sec by Keoho, but nobody else could come on to it. And Santa Clara gets the point. Katie Edwards another kill. It's 10-5. Broncos trail in Eugene. I guess technically it's a neutral site, maybe. I don't know exactly how they classify these when it's in the postseason, but either way, it's a road match for Santa Clara being in Oregon's home arena. As we see a first sub, Mary Shepard will come in and serve for SCU. 9 in black from the back middle will fire away down Broadway to Brenner. Scott comes over to the middle. That's Bettendorf swing block back to Brenner. Scott to the left side. Warner pushes over to the back. She gets the kill as the diving Shepard couldn't adjust in time. A nice move by Warner to read the defense and get Oregon back up by 6.
Great court vision. Drew her hand back like she was going to hit it. Just pushed it in the back left part. Shepard couldn't get there off the dive.
Now Liz Brenner, 3-time All Pac-12 player now after being honored again this week. Another great year for the senior out of Portland, Oregon. The Jesuit High School alum, 2.88 kills per set and 3.46 digs per set. Serves to the back, Milton mishandles. Rotman comes up to cover though, and now Clayton, the left side swing. Dug out by Benson on the triple block. Bettendorf right side, swing on the way. Milton gets to it. Rotman will set it high. Right side, Milton goes off the block. Warner and Chevy couldn't get to it in time. Couldn't square it up well enough at least, and Santa Clara gets the point on Taylor Milton's kill. That's her second, and it's a 5-point set again, 11-6.
Went down the line on Chevy, trying to play cross court. Just went off her left hand out of bounds.
There's Kirsten Meade. She serves one over, tips the net. Bettendorf there, though, as Chevy will take a swing. Doesn't matter. It was a 2-hit violation before she got to it. And the Broncos with back-to-back points now down 4 at 11-7.
Lost the first point out of the timeout, but been on a bit of a run to come back in this match, or set, excuse me.
Meade from Palo Alto, right in the neighborhood of Stanford. Will serve it over to Brenner. To her knees to get it. Scott to her knees to set it. And Bettendorf swing across, dug out by the Broncos. Rotman will free ball over to Chevy. Scott from the middle goes left side. Chevy a swing. Blocked by the Broncos and kept up by SCU. They go left side for Clayton. Swings off the block. Brenner a one hand up. Benson the same thing, and now Chevy a swing off the block to the back row for Rotman. To the middle they go. Hess is blocked. Bettendorf and Warner are there, stuffing it back, and it's 12-7 Ducks after the long point goes Oregon's way.
For as much as Jim Moore harped on this defense is really stepping up early here.
Second dual block for Warner and Bettendorf, and here is Benson again to serve it at 12-7 Oregon. Line drive over to Milton's going to be mishandled. Nobody gets to it. That's an ace for Benson. A point for Oregon as the Ducks go up 13-7, and Benson collects service ace number 22 on the year.
After SCU had kind of come back a little bit, Oregon taking control of the set again.
Benson another rocket serve. Hess takes this one. Meade comes back to get it in. Rotman pushes on over. Brenner takes it in the back. Scott from the middle leaves it to Nady. That shot blocked back. Benson gets a hand on it, then Nady off the net takes care of it. However, nobody else gets to it, and that ball falls to the hardwood to make it 13-8 Ducks on the point to Santa Clara. Sabrina Clayton will serve it. All WCC freshman team member last year. And fires away to the back. They go to the middle. Bettendorf shot block back. It goes just out on the sideline. And it's a point for Oregon on the missed block by Santa Clara. 14-8 Ducks here in the first as Taylor August rotates through for the Oregon Ducks, as does Chelsea Ashen on that setter switch.
Great read there by Benson. Very close off the block, but it just landed out of bounds.
National serve it short. Clayton comes up right side to get it. Mead over her head, right side. Milton with a swing right toward us on press row. 14-9, Santa Clara on another kill for Taylor Milton, and with Nikki Hess quiet early on, Milton's come through with 3 big kills early.
Exactly, Broncos not going away. They're here for the upset, and they're going to try their hardest to come away with it.
That's Danny Rotman ready to serve for SCU, flying through the air and sending one up to Brenner. Ashton leaves it in the middle. Nady takes a swing, sends it right down to the net. And Santa Clara hanging around here in the first, down 14-10. Multiple times it looks like Oregon's going to pull away, but Santa Clara finds a way to get next couple points and stay right in there. That's what you need to do in an upset-minded situation. Number 46 in the RPI versus number 10. Santa Clara, the team lower in the rankings. As Rotman serves to the back, Brenner will take it. Ashton is set left side. August takes a swing. That one shoots off of Mead and into the back row of the floor. Ball finds the hardwood, and it's 15-10 on a Taylor August kill. It's her first of the night.
Great looking swing out there from the freshman on the left side. She gets her first kill of this set.
Clackamas High School alum, the number 17 senior ace in last year's class. We'll watch as Keoho will serve Milton. Give and go. Mead back to Milton. Benson gets her hand up on that swing. Ashton does too, and then August takes a swing from the left side and finds the hardwood. Back-to-back kills for August, make it 16-10 Oregon, but a nice job over there by the Ducks. Benson with her lower size at 5'7", sometimes has balls like that go over her head, does her best to keep it up and keep that point alive to get Oregon up by 6 again as Keoho will serve to that right side for Milton. They go left for Hess. Swing on the way. Benson gets to it. Keoho keeps her hand on it. Ashton tries the free ball, but this is going to be short. And the kill will go to Hess, I believe, as it's 16-11. And Oregon still in front, but getting a nice hand on that hustle play on both sides.
Great swing by Hess, and an absolutely great effort from Keoho, laying out completely, looking like a center fielder diving back on a ball, getting the hand out there. Just Ashton couldn't get it over.
Taylor Milton will serve.
Pit crew behind us giving a lot of noise for the home team.
She tosses this one high. The lefty fires away to Keoho in the back. Ashton to the left side. August another swing. Another kill for Taylor August. She's got Oregon's last 3 points. This one splitting a couple defenders in the back row. And August up to 3 kills. Oregon up to 17 and leading it by 6.
Oregon hitting .348 early here in the first set. 10 kills, 2 errors, and up 17-11.
Casey Nady serving down that left sideline. Rotman will set up left. Nikki Hess a swing. Nikki Hess a kill. Back-to-back kills on last 2 swings for her. They really do have to get her going here in the upset-minded situation. It's a lot harder to pull it when your best hitter is really struggling. She averages 3.7 kills per set, having a great year. Up to 2 kills in this first set, but still hitting negative .222, and she's on the serve here. Hess will fire to the back. That ball almost hit the hardwood. Instead, they keep it up. August takes a swing, and August gets another kill. Taylor August, this time on the right side, makes it 18-12. 4 kills for August here in the first set, and the Ducks back up by 6.
And that's 4 swings and 4, or excuse me, that'll be 5 swings and 4 kills for Taylor August. Just a great show put on by the freshman here. Her first NCAA tournament, not showing it here.
Maggie Scott in her first tournament will come back in and serve. Hess will field right side. Mead goes on that right. Edwards a swing. Scott gets to it, then clears way for Bettendorf to bump it up. Benson will free ball over. Milton gets to it. Mead goes left side. Clayton slopes through for a swing, but she is rejected. Bettendorf was there. Warner may have come through as well. I think Bettendorf may have gotten that one solo. They're going to credit him dually again. That's 3 dual blocks for Bettendorf and Warner, and a second timeout needed by Santa Clara. 19-12 Oregon, and John Wallace has to call timeout again.
How about this pairing of Warner and Bettendorf, their 3rd combined block on the evening. Just a great play there by Bettendorf. Bettendorf is someone who usually subs out a lot, doesn't play a lot of defense, but keeping her on the floor is huge. She's a huge offensive threat. Jim Moore wants to keep her on the field more, get her more offensive attempts, and it's paying off early here with 3 blocks.
I'm Ryan Roulardi, Zach Bigley. We're coming to you live on KWVA Eugene 88.1 FM and also on KWVAradio.org. And don't forget our listeners and viewers on GoDucks.com tonight. Our streaming brought to you by the Oregon Athletic Department this evening. Always good to partner with them. We'll be here tomorrow as well, no matter who wins this one. It'll be on GoDucks.com. If Oregon is playing tomorrow, this will also be on KWVA like you're hearing right now if you're listening on your radio dial. Oregon and Santa Clara battling for a chance to meet the LSU Tigers in the second round. They had some really hot flashes. They looked good. I mean, only finished with about a .240 hitting percentage, right about their season average. But there were moments where that LSU team showed it could really give Oregon or Santa Clara a scare tomorrow.
They have about 3 or 4 hitters that can really put it down through the block, around the block, over the block. They can get up, and I think it would give either of these teams fits tomorrow. It's going to be a great match no matter who's playing in it.
LSU coming from the central time zone, so it's about 9:20 in their time, but they're hanging around. Not quite bedtime yet. They want to get an early scouting report on who they're playing tomorrow, as they know they're going to get the winner of this match. Oklahoma's already been eliminated from this Eugene sub-regional, and somebody else will be gone in the next hour or two, as we're out of timeout with Maggie Scott serving at 19-12. Hess will take it. Mead to the right side. Edwards a tip shot. Warner there to cover. Then Benson keeps it up, and Keough free balls over to Rotman. Mead in the middle. Sets left side. Clayton a swing. Clayton a kill to the back row. Sabrina Clayton having a good match early. That's another kill for her. Make it 2. And it's 19-13 as Santa Clara gets the point out of the timeout.
Important for Santa Clara to not just be one-dimensional and go to Mead all the time. Hess, and go to Clayton as well. That's her second kill. 2 errors, though. She's now hitting 0.
Hess and Clayton, the top 2 hitters on this Santa Clara squad. Both over 3 kills per set and both around a .230 hitting percentage. As Shepard's back into serve for SCU. Bettendorf will bump set Brenner, right side, tip across to Hess. Now to the right side they go. Milton has her shot blocked again, and guess who? It's Warner, it's Bettendorf, and it's 20-13 Oregon.
Their 4th combined block on this early set, and it's 20-13 Oregon taking control again of this match after the timeout.
Ducks only average 205 blocks per set. Bettendorf .68, Warner at exactly 1%, but those two well over their average with 4 block assists per person here in this first. As they got another one, they go to they go to Milton in the middle, and this time it's Bettendorf and Warner once again. It's 21-13 Oregon, and these Ducks are starting to get that rhythm going again.
We have a little Batman and Robin matchup here up front for the Ducks.
Brenner's going to end the rally here by serving into the net. I think a 21-14 on Oregon's service error, first of the night for the Ducks. And now Kirsten Mead and the Broncos have some work to do, down by 7 as this first set starts to wind down. Mead will serve from that right side, down the line to Chevy. Scott pops it up, right side of the back set to Bettendorf. Hess comes over to get it. Clayton controls the table, but then she can't get it back onto her side of the floor. Ball goes to the ground, and it's 22-14 Ducks.
Tough play there, trying to go to the scorer's table. Not able to get it back over using one hand. It just shanks off the side of her hand, and it's point for the Ducks.
Sets out Benson on her 3rd time through the serving rotation. She serves to the back for Milton. They go right side, Mead to Clayton. Clayton comes through with a kill down the line. As Clayton goes to that right side for the first time tonight, it makes it 22-15.
Picks up her 3rd kill on the set. Now hitting positive for 22 in red.
Clayton will go back and serve here. Down that to the right side for Bettendorf. Scott left side set up. Chevy comes through with a swing, and Chevy has the kill. That's her 2nd. They get her 1st already. Only 1 for the talented freshman who made the All Pac-12 freshman team, but it's 23-15 Ducks. As the setters switch through, Chelsea Ashen back in for Maggie Scott. Taylor August back for Martine Bettendorf, and Ashen will serve. To that right sideline for Hess. They go to the middle. Calkins a swing over, dug out by Chevy. Now right side, August a swing over the net, off of Milton to the floor, and it's set point for the Ducks at 24-15.
How about Taylor August? 5 kills, no errors, hitting .714 in this first set. Great job by the freshman.
Matt Matarina to its feet as Ashen serves at set point. Hess comes up the field. Mead goes to the right side. Milton a swing. That's wide left, out of bounds, and this first set goes to Oregon. 25-15.
Great first set. We talked about how Oregon needs to come out hot, needs to come out fast, and they need to win this first set. Big first set win, and it's exactly what they need, getting momentum going forward and building on that and try to knock out Santa Clara, make it to tomorrow.
Not only did the Ducks win that one, they rather dominated it, I would say. We've seen a couple of very lopsided first sets today. Oklahoma losing by 11. Now Santa Clara has fallen by 10 in the first set at Matt Knight Arena. Some really nice numbers if you're on that Oregon bench. Taylor August has been a real bright spot the last couple weeks. They started giving her the look in the second to last weekend of the regular season against UCLA, taking over for Nia Crittenden, who had been there basically all year. That start for August on November the 21st, only her 2nd of the season. She's basically been there the rest of the year, and she looks good right now. 5 kills, no errors, 7 swings for a 7-14 mark. And then the nice thing for Oregon, the rest of the offense is so balanced. Bettendorf 3 kills, Warner and Nady 2 kills. Brenner and Chevy 1 kill. That's what this team has made its living on all years. It's not about the go-to guns, and it's been in part with players like Bettendorf and Brenner, but the balance has kept this Oregon team really strong all year.
Yeah, absolutely. The balance all around, just a lot of swings from a lot of different players, really hard to defend as a defense. You don't really know who they're going to go to. They can really go to anyone, whether it's in the front row or the back row. But I think the number that really stands out to me, 5 blocks in this first set for an Oregon team that doesn't normally block that well, and all of them coming on from Martine Bettendorf and Serena Warner.
Getting ready for this second set at Matt Knight Arena, again on KWVA Eugene 88.1 FM, also online, goducks.com, and on kwvaradio.org as well. Ryan Rillard, Zach Bigley with you at Matt Knight Arena. It's the second match in this first round of the NCAA tournament, Eugene Sub-Regional. Now, if you're not familiar with the way the bracket looks right now, this Sub-Regional, there are 16 in total. This will feed the Chapel Hill Sub-Regional in North Carolina. That one doesn't start till tomorrow. University of North Carolina is hosting that one. They've got 3 other teams there with them as well. The Tar Heels take on Hampton tomorrow afternoon at 3:30. Coastal Carolina takes on USC earlier in the day at 1:30 Pacific time. One of those 4 teams will make it to Minneapolis with the winner of this sub-regional, and then those 2 teams will meet with 2 others from the other sub-regionals, the Austin sub-regional with Texas and the Fort Collins sub-regional with Colorado State also feeding to Minneapolis. And then there are 12 other sub-regionals that feed 3 other regional sites, Ames, Iowa, as well as Louisville, Kentucky, and up the road from here in Seattle, Washington. Your 4 regional sites that'll start play next Friday and move to Saturday, ultimately for a chance to go to the Final 4 at Chesapeake Energy Arena in Oklahoma City. Off to a good start here on a beautiful, beautiful day for volleyball in Eugene. Maybe not outside, but inside we've seen some good stuff. It's been a lot of fun as we head to this second set. Oregon and Santa Clara return to the floor. And I turn things over to my partner, Zach Bigley.
Well, thank you very much, Ryan. As he said, ready to take the floor. Both teams break it out from the huddle. And we're just about underway here in the second set. Oregon winning the first set, rather dominating in a 10-point victory, playing with very good defense and spreading it around the floor. You're listening to KWVA Radio on 88.1. As he mentioned, I'm Zach Bigley. He is Ryan Roulard. And we are just waiting on the referees to give the okay. A pretty good crowd, I would say. It kind of filled in late, as you said, and making a lot of noise, especially the pit crew behind us representing a neutral floor for the Ducks, but obviously a home game being in Eugene. And Liz Brenner looks like will go back to start serve for the second set for this Oregon squad. She'll get the ball and wait on the okay from the referee. And there it is, and we'll start the second set. Brenner will put a jump skip over, taken to the back by Hess. Mead backs it outside of Clayton. She'll put it up. Scott taking Bettendorf now. Put over by Chevy. Now Mead up top. Put a swing back, block back. Again, taken by Benson. Scott on the outside of the slide to Bettendorf. She'll put it down for the kill on the back line. Good start as it's 1-0 Oregon.
There's a sound effect that has to go with that swing right there. That was a laser beam from Martine Bettendorf. And one thing I noticed too, Milton tried to lob it over the block of Bettendorf and Warner that time. There's a lot of respect for those two right now with what they did in that first set.
Serve over again. Mead will go up top. Again, it looks like that's Milton who gets blocked back. Great play by the Ducks, and it's 2-0 now in the start of the second set.
And yet again, it's Bettendorf and Warner. It's just nuts how much they've been together, but they're doing a lot of things right for this team that's had a lot of trouble blocking this year.
Brenner will send it over again, and I'll go just long. Good read out there by Nikki Hess as she watched it go long over her left shoulder. And Santa Clara's on the board, 2-1 now Ducks, and Clayton will go back to serve for the Broncos. 22 in black with red sleeves, bounces the ball a couple times, stares at the ball. Now we'll pop it over. Brenner will take it in the back. Scott back set on the left side for Bettendorf to knock it over. Mead, now Nikki will take a swing. Scott on the outside, left side for Chevy, kept up in the block, and it'll fall to the hardwood in front of a diving Nikki Hess. And Point Oregon kills Chevy.
What we're seeing early on, I think, is the divide between the Pac-12 and the rest of the country. Because Santa Clara had really hung in well in what was considered a really good West Coast Conference. Oregon, though, is making that West Coast Conference not look as good as we all thought.
Benson puts it over Mead to the left side for Hess, and she puts it down right in front of Benson for the kill. Great looking swing there by Nikki Hess.
They got to get her going. They really do. She's getting closer to back to 0. 3 kills and 4 errors now for her. +3 digs, but they've got to find a way to keep her moving, and really the best way to do that, just keep feeding her until she figures it out.
Libero now in white is Rotman to serve. She'll put it over. Taking it back by Benson. Scott up top of the 2 for Nady. Off the block, taken up by Rotman. Mead outside to Hess. Will tip it over. Put up by Nady. Bettendorf will put it back up to Chevy. Off the block and taken in the back by Rotman. Set up the top by Mead is Edwards. Katie Edwards will get the kill. Bounced around a little bit on the Oregon side, but it falls to the hardwood, and we draw even at 3-3 here at Matthew Knight Arena.
For Santa Clara, it's about hanging around. They got kind of blitzed away within that first set, never really had a chance, but they're hanging around here in the opening of this second set. See how long they can do it and how long they can keep themselves afloat.
Rotman from way back to Brenner. Over to Scott on the right side to Bettendorf. She'll take a swing, put up by Rotman. And looks like Santa Clara is going to be in the net, and it'll be point for the Ducks. That was Hess who was in the net for the Broncos. And Ashton will go back to serve for Oregon. Number 16 in white, waiting for the call. She'll pop it over. Taken by Hess. Mead, back set to Milton. She'll take a swing. It'll go off the block and out of bounds, but tipped by Oregon. Point Broncos, and we are all tied up again at 4-4.
A lot of swings for Taylor Milton this one. They're trying to go to her. They're a senior from San Diego. A lot of times it's experience you want in the tournament. Maybe that's why they've been feeding her as much as they have, and she's starting to really produce for them. 4 kills already for her.
She'll go back to serve. She tosses it high up in the air. Lefty will put it down into the net. It's a service error for the Broncos and Milton, and a point for the Ducks. 5-4 Oregon. You know, that's something we saw a lot in this first match of today's game, was a lot of service errors. Not something we've seen a lot watching the Oregon team and the Pac-12 playing. First one today. As Keoho in the game, will pop it over to Milton. To Mead out on the left side. Hess will pop it over. Taken by Ashen, and Benson will pass set. August will take a swing. Now Milton will put it up. Keoho will put it up on the other side. August will take a swing, and it put up by Rodman. Over to Hess, who will go just long out of bounds. Not tipped, and Oregon will get the point. 6-4 now, Ducks.
Struggles continue for Santa Clara. A lot of long shots in this one. That one a little bit closer to touching that back line, but there have been a lot of swings, and it's a lot about Oregon's block. You're trying to hit over it. That's why your swing is not as flat as you want it to. Or it's flatter than you want it to be, actually, is what I mean.
Serve goes over from Keoho to Milton, to Mead, and Milton will take a swing again, and in the net are the Broncos. Point Oregon, and now 7-4 Ducks, starting to pull away again after a really close beginning of the second set.
And let me clarify again. What I'm saying is, with the block, you can't get as much downward momentum as you want. It turns out with a lot of long swings.
Go over to Milton, to Mead, and then Edwards takes a swing through the block of Oregon, and it will fall to the hardwood on the right side, which is Oregon's side. Point Broncos, 7-5 now.
I like
Ducks.
Edwards challenging that block there, though, trying to go through it instead of, again, trying to hit around it. You can only do that so much. You got to be able to challenge these Ducks. They can't block everything, and they just showed it right there.
Hess now with the serve for the Broncos. She'll pop it over, taken in the back, and Brenner will take a swing. August adjusted the net, put over, and no one is going to get it as it went off Milton and went flying. That was Rodman in pursuit for the Broncos. A dive to no avail. Point Ducks, 8-5 now, Oregon.
And if you're Jim Moore, you got to like seeing Liz Brenner unload. She's got such a cannon for that arm and hasn't been able to use it as much as she wants this year.
Lady will send it over to Hess, taken in the back and popped over. Good play there by the center, Mead, as she just pushed it over with the left hand. Oregon not suspecting. No one was up there on the block. And the Broncos get the point. 8-6 now, Ducks.
5'11" is Kirsten Mead, rather, so she has enough size to play with, but again, that's all about reading the defense. We've seen a lot of good defensive reads by all 4 teams here today, and that's another good example of it right there.
Mary Shepard now back to serve for the Broncos, and she'll serve it over to Keoho. Ashen out on the left side to Brenner, popped up by Milton. Set up in the middle is Hess, and she'll tip it over right in the middle of everyone on Oregon's side. Point Broncos, kill Hess.
Another good example of reading the defense. She saw that triple block coming. Oregon set it up, so she said, you know what? I'm going to just go over your little dump shot. Nobody's home. Point Santa Clara.
4th kill for Hess. Shepard back to serve again. She'll serve it in the back to Keoho. Ashen, backside, right side to August. Popped up by Milton. Set up on the outside and put over again. Brenner will now tip it over on the left side. Put up by Clayton. Now a tip over and blocked back. I believe that was Serena Warner who put Hess's shot right back down, straight down onto the Broncos side. 9-7 now for the Ducks.
That's trickier than it looks because Warner mistimed it actually a little bit. She was on her way down and just kind of had to reach up at the last minute, get what she could before she got too low. Nice job by Warner. She gets another block, and Oregon's got 7 now as a team.
Freshman Maggie Scott wearing number 3 on her chest will put it over. Taken by Milton. And over to Clayton. She'll put it up off Scott and find the kill down the left side. It is now 9-8 as the Broncos draw within 1.
Yeah, they've done a nice job hanging around here in the second. Again, they got blitzed away in that first set, down basically from the beginning, never actually tied or led in that set. Now trying to pull even right here at 9 if they can get this point.
Meade will put it over in the back to Keoho. Scott up the middle of Bettendorf, who puts it down right on the line on the right side for Bettendorf. And that's a kill for number 18.
And only, I shouldn't say only her 6, she's quietly gotten to 6, but they haven't relied on her as much as you'd think, it seems like, and that's why it's a quiet 6 kills.
Brenner will put it over into the net. And that's a service error for Liz Brenner, her second of the match. 10-9 now. Ducks with the lead as Clayton will go back to serve for the Broncos.
Every service error is just more confidence for Santa Clara. The more you give away 3 points, the more that underdog's going to start to believe.
The San Ramon, California native will put it over to Benson in the back side. Scott outside of Bettendorf, who puts it down from the right side, cross court to left, puts it down right in front of Danielle Rotman, the libero for the Broncos, and it's now 11-9 Ducks. Benson now back to serve. She'll put it over. Taking it back by Clayton. Meade sets up Milton, tip over, out of bounds, point Ducks. Now 12-9 Oregon, good little run here put together by the Ducks after the Broncos were hanging around.
Yeah, again, Oregon's done a nice job all night, and when Santa Clara gets close, they get pulling away again, and that's why the Broncos have to find a way to get over that hump.
Benson will serve it long, way long, about 2 or 3 feet out. Another service error from this Ducks squad, and is now 12-10 Oregon lead.
Well, that's the good news if you're Oregon, is a lot of your problems are on your own side. A lot of service errors, a lot of missed hits into the net. The bad news, obviously, is you want to find a way to shore those up, but they got to find a way to get that done fast because Santa Clara, again, the longer you leave them around, though, the more they're going to be able to contend and the more they're going to be able to have a chance to win this second set.
Rodman back to serve, lines up about 3 feet behind the basketball baseline, puts it over for Brenner to Scott on the left side for Chevy, takes a deep swing off the block and off of the setter Meade, finds the hardwood. 13-10 now Oregon on the freshman Chevy's kill.
Chevy has been pretty quiet, but again, they haven't really needed to have one player come through. We've seen all kinds of players, and it's been what Oregon's done all year, is balance that offensive attack.
Senior setter Ashen puts it over to Milton, over to Meade, and Edwards will get the kill as she kind of pushed it over around the block of Taylor August, gets the kill. 13-11 now Oregon lead.
One thing we're seeing out of Santa Clara, I think, that's been really nice, like I said, is the defensive reads. Edwards, in that case, with Oregon being so good on the block tonight, they're really rushing to that net. And a lot of times, you're going to get the block, but other times, too, if your defense or if your offensive player on this side reads you correctly, you can really work around that block. It's a lot easier to find that hardwood sometimes.
We're going to see San Diego native Gigi Cresto for the first time. She puts it over to Ashen. And Chevy up the middle with a powerful swing coming out of nowhere seemingly, gets the kill. And again, Chevy comes through. 14-11 now Oregon. And
the smiles that just came out of that Oregon team on the floor, that's how much fun they're having right now. They love to see that. Chevy, that's a rocket. And we've seen a lot of those tonight. Like I mentioned, Liz Brenner has a cannon for an arm. Martine Bettendorf's getting a cannon for an arm. Now Chevy's showing what she can do as well. And you like to see how loose this Oregon team is after a really tough week last week.
This Oregon squad losing a lot, but also has a lot of promise for the future. Keoho will put it over now. Milton will take it to Meade, outside to Hess, blocked back by Nady. Now kept up again, and Meade again to Hess, blocked back again, and not kept up, this time by the Broncos. This Oregon defense is putting on a clinic right now through these first 2 sets.
This is the one thing that I thought really let them down on Friday in Corvallis. They're going to force Santa Clara into a timeout. I thought the offense was pretty subpar too, but the defense I thought was really what was disappointing in that loss to Oregon State, because this team has been pretty good all year. Not a solid defensive blocking team. They haven't been huge on the net, but they just had no presence in Corvallis. And the fact that they've been all over the net tonight and really forcing Santa Clara to alter what it wants to do, because, you know, maybe against WCC competition or against other non-conference, maybe some of these hitters for Santa Clara are more used to just firing away, getting through that block, getting around it completely. Now we're seeing all kinds of adjustments that to get made. Tip shots over the block, push shots around the block, trying to go through the block and not getting through it. you have to make a lot of adjustments. And Santa Clara, as much as they're trying, they're just not finding that right recipe right now because that's how much Oregon's doing defensively.
Exactly. A lot of tip shots we're seeing from this Broncos offense. I think it's messing with their mind a little bit because they're getting some open looks, but they're not firing through because they haven't been getting the open looks, and they're trying to find push shots and place it, which is not what you want to do. The Oregon defense is just doing a great job just dominating. Even though they're only up 4 here, I think they're still in really good control of this set in this match.
2 hitters on Santa Clara hitting negative right now, and they're 2 very important hitters, especially Nikki Hess. Now 7 errors. Both she and Taylor Milton have 7 errors and 4 kills. It's just not a recipe for success. And again, I'm not saying that those 2 didn't come to play, because they have. You're seeing that intensity, that desire to find that floor, but it's just Oregon's defense, and they're doing a lot of things right on that defensive side right now. Sabrina Clayton's keeping them going with 4 kills of her own. We're seeing some good stuff pop out elsewhere. Katie Edwards is having a really nice night with 5 kills and no errors. She's been reading the defense really well, and I talk about it a lot, but it's important when you're Santa Clara right now. You got to keep reading that defense because they're going to keep throwing different things at you from that Oregon side, and you got to keep being aware. Otherwise, it's going to be a really fast night, and this match is going to be over fast.
I mentioned the defense. 8 blocks for the Ducks so far, just 1 for Santa Clara. Keoho will send it over from the left side, taken by Milton. Set up from Meade, and there goes Katie Edwards. We just mentioned her, and she picks up her 6th kill to no errors, hitting .750 so far, and the Broncos draw within 3 at 15-12. Exactly what you wanted to see out of the timeout if you're John Wallace.
And there may be your leader right now for Santa Clara, Katie Edwards right now having the best match of anyone, but Oregon probably is going to find a way to zone in on her eventually too with the way they've been playing defense.
Has to serve it over to Benson. Now back set, and Nady will take a swing. Rotman, the pass set to Clayton. She'll free ball it over. Ashton, now Benson will set up Brenner on the outside. Through the block from the right side. Brenner goes onto the hardwood, finds the kill, and finds Oregon's 16th point to the Broncos 12.
Just read the faces of these 2 teams right now. Lots of smiles on one side. That's Oregon. A lot of just a little bit concerned and nervous faces on that Santa Clara side.
Nady puts it over in the backside to Hess, and Clayton will take a swing off the block, and it'll be a point for the Broncos and a kill for Clayton. She's someone who needs to get going for this Broncos offense.
Yeah, they have a couple players that still need to get going, but Clayton's been kind of hanging around there. And again, they're going to figure this out, I think, as this match goes on a little bit more. But also, you have to keep playing that adjustment game because Oregon's defense is going to keep finding a way to adjust to what you're doing as well. And so this could be a fun little battle to watch as Santa Clara's offense tries to find its way.
16-13 now. Shepard will send it over. Ashton passes it up to August, taking it back by Hess. Now Meade will set up Clayton on the right-left side. Kicking back to Keoho. Ashton on the outside to Brenner, who puts it through. Great-looking swing there off of Nikki Hess. 17 points now for Oregon. 13 points for the Broncos.
And one thing Santa Clara hasn't gotten to do a whole lot at all really in this match is dominate on the serve. No aces yet for a team that averages about 1.8%, and they just haven't seemed to have that control that you'd expect to have. Oregon's done a really nice job of just receiving and staying in system.
Scott puts it over, taken by Milton. And Meade sets up Hess, takes a good swing from the attack line, taken up by Benson. Scott tipped over by Brenner. Rotman takes it in the back. Meade sets up Clayton on the left side, taken up off the block by Scott. Benson sets up Martine Bettendorf, who takes a swing off the right side, taken up off the block by Hess. Clayton goes wide on the right side, and that's a point for the Ducks. 18-13 now, Oregon lead in the second set.
These Ducks have a lot of power in them, and they can make a lot of runs. We've seen plenty of those long runs this year, and they're starting to make another one here.
Scott now to Nikki Hess, and Meade sets up Calkins, who we really haven't called a lot, who gets the kill right down the middle. 18-14 now Ducks, and Calkins is someone they might need to get going in the middle blocking position.
Anyone who can get going right now is welcome for Santa Clara, and in that middle, Oregon's had some weaknesses this year, so maybe that's a spot they can target.
And Meade puts it right into the net on the serve. Cannot afford that if you're Santa Clara right now. 19-14 now after the service error. Ducks lead is Liz Brenner, their senior and one of the greatest athletes on the women's side in Oregon history, puts it over. Milton will put up to Meade, and Calkins will take a shot, and Chevy will now take a swing on the backside from Brenner, off of Rotman in the back, and it'll be a point for the Ducks, and Chevy finds herself another kill. Timeout, Santa Clara.
Broncos were in this one very, very close for a sec there, down 12-10 and 13-11, but ever since Oregon's blitzed away again, and that's what this kind of good team can do. And I mentioned a little bit earlier, there was some concerns as the regular season wound down. This Oregon team was starting to wither away and fade away, and you heard Jim Moore even say in the pregame show, if you've been listening on KWVA, that he thought his team was reeling a little bit. I think a lot of that, though, has just been a testament to the Pac-12 and how good it really is, and that I said it all year. The Pac-12 was literally 1 through 12 this year. Maybe Cal and Washington State at the bottom, who missed the tournament, maybe weren't as dominant a threat, but they were still able to knock teams off. Everybody was able to beat each other this year, and it was a lot of fun to watch the Pac-12. But you're seeing a big difference right now between the Pac-12 and the West Coast Conference. And if Oregon gets through this one, I'm really curious to see how the Pac-12 stacks up with the SEC tomorrow with LSU on the other side. Another one of those good conferences in the college volleyball world. But this Pac-12, look at how much it's done for these Oregon Ducks. They not only went through the Pac-12, they had a really tough non-conference slate as well. Some Big Ten teams coming in. Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State went to Hawaii and won. This team went 10-0 in non-conference play, and so much of that, plus the Pac-12 is a reason why this team could go a long way in this tournament.
Absolutely. You're talking about how deep the Pac-12 is, and I was about to say, before you mentioned it, that we saw a very good match here, Oklahoma and LSU, earlier today. LSU looked very good, and I think if Oregon does come out with a victory here, a little too early to tell still, but if they do come out, LSU will present a good challenge for them, and even for Santa Clara, if they do come back in this game.
Yeah, a lot of Pac-12 teams, by the way, on this Minneapolis regional side of the bracket. That's going to be a fun thing to watch as well. Arizona State's already made it through today, but there are two other Pac-12 teams, USC, in this other side of the regional also in there.
Brenner will send it over to Milton. Meade sets up Clayton, blocked back by Chevy. And Meade will set up Clayton again on the backside. Blocked back again by Oregon. Meade and Rotman outside now, tipped over by Milton. Scott will put it up. And Brenner puts it out to Chevy. Taken up by Hess. Milton and Clayton blocked back again. Oregon defense putting on a show here. That's 3 blocks in that possession. They take a 21-14 lead.
It's been really impressive to watch. Like I was saying, though, 4 Pac-12 teams on the Minneapolis regional side of the bracket. Could be fun to see what those two meet up as this tournament goes along.
Brenner over to Hess. And Meade sets up Milton, who's blocked back again by this Oregon defense. My goodness, just absolutely dominating. It's Bettendorf and Warner again, the Batman and Robin that I mentioned earlier, coming back again, and they are absolutely putting on a show. 9 blocks for Serena Warner, 7 for Bettendorf, 10 for the team.
That's what they needed. It's really what they needed after a really rough week, and this team was honest. We asked them a couple times over the course of the week how their practices had been this week. And they were not willing to comfortably say, hey, we are just playing excellent in practice. We're looking great. They were saying, hey, you know what? The reaction's been kind of up and down. We're not sure how well we're going to be ready to come out on Thursday against Santa Clara. Well, they look really good. And obviously, Santa Clara is not a Pac-12 team. It's not up to the caliber they've seen, but still a good team. They obviously earned their way here. And this team, I'm not sure what they did in practice, but it's starting to translate. And this has been a very nice way to flush out a really tough end of the regular season.
You can see the way they're playing. You can see the way they're feeling. You can see the emotion coming through. This team wants to win. This team is here to win, and this team will not leave without a win.
Yeah, like I was saying, I want to go back to the Pac-12 point one more time to clarify it. You have 4 sub-regionals feeding the Minneapolis regional. There's 1 Pac-12 team in each of them. USC is in Chapel Hill sub-regional. Oregon's obviously in this one. Colorado's in the Fort Collins sub-regional. And ASU is over in the Austin sub-regional. We could potentially see some Pac-12 teams meeting up as early as the 3rd round in Friday's Minneapolis regional, depending on who gets through and all that. Only one of these 4 teams is actually hosting, but all 4 of those teams are easily capable of going on the road and knocking somebody off. So that could be a lot of fun. This Pac-12 could easily see its own self in the final. Stanford and Washington could meet in the championship match in Oklahoma City. That would be a lot of fun. Any Pac-12 team that could meet each other, though, they're all going to be fun to watch.
And Brenner will serve over to Milton. Meade will take on the backside to Clayton. It blocked up off the block. Bettendorf will take it. Scott outside to Chevy, and it'll be a point on a double hit there by Scott. And the Broncos pull within 7 at 22-15 now. And Clayton will go back to serve for the Broncos. 22 in black with red sleeves. Holds the ball out in front. She'll pop it over to Brenner. To Scott outside to an air for Chevy. Now 22-16 Oregon lead. So good job by the Broncos coming out of the timeout. 2 consecutive points. And Clayton will go back to serve again. He dribbles the ball 4 times. Looks it straight at it and pop it over. Short to Brenner. Scott up the middle of Bettendorf, off the block and taken up by Milton. Meade outside to Hess will take a swing, goes wide right. Point Ducks. Now 23-16 Oregon.
If you're Oregon, obviously you want to close this out pretty quickly, because anytime you give Santa Clara even a little bit of momentum late in the set, or any opponent really late in the set, you don't want to do that, because obviously it translates into the next set. So for Oregon, the key is to get out of this pretty quickly, make it, don't really leave Santa Clara any kind of life, and that changes things going into the intermission, and it really sets them up well to come out in that third set as well.
Pac-12 hardened, battle-tested Ducks up 23-16. Benson will serve it over for them. Taken in the back by Clayton. Mead outside to Hess. Great looking set as she goes down hard onto the floor, and that's a kill for Hess, and that's kind of the Hess we were looking to see. Great set by Mead.
And a great read, too, by Hess, though. The block was right in front of her. Nady and Bettendorf over there, so instead she directs it to the right, and it gets herself a chance to hit right through a couple defenders and gets that kill, which is a big one for her. That's 5 now, but still hitting negative.
Danielle Rotman now back to serve. She'll pop it over, taken by Brenner in the back. Scott up to the 2 spot for Bettendorf, who puts it down for the kill. And it is set point here in the second set. 24-17 Ducks as Ashton goes back to serve. The Matthew Knight Arena crowd deep in the woods here on their feet as Ashton looks to the referee, gets the sign, bounces the ball twice. And she'll pop it over, taken to the back by Milton. Free ball over is Warner! Oh, pardon me, that's Chevy, puts it down. And that is the end of the second set. Oregon takes it 25-17 after taking the first set 25-15, and they head into intermission, leading 2-0 here in this match. Ryan, exactly what Jim Moore wanted here, exactly what the Oregon fans wanted here, exactly what Oregon needed to come out like this, come out hot after a poor performance against Utah and Oregon State.
Yeah, Jim Moore was very complimentary of this Santa Clara squad coming in. He was worried about dealing with them, and no disrespect to Santa Clara, but Oregon's just better, and they're showing it right now because, you know, like you mentioned, we've talked about it, Pac-12 toughened, non-conference toughened. This group went through a lot, and granted, Santa Clara has beat its share of teams. I mentioned earlier the teams they've had to knock down, a lot of ranked teams going down at the hands of these Broncos, BYU, San Diego, Duke, to name a few. It's been an impressive run for both these sides, but Oregon right now has something to prove, and these Ducks are certainly taking it out on these Broncos after a rough end of the regular season.
Absolutely, just dominating on both facets of the ball. Hitting a 4.07 from the field to the Broncos 0.056.
And that's the Oregon team we're used to. But really, the one thing I'll say, the first 2 matches of this tournament, they've been defensively driven. You look at Oklahoma earlier today, and again, I go back to it. Kira Holst hit 0. Their best hitter, she was held scoreless, or held without going over into the red, or in the black rather, but that was big. Oklahoma, an offensively driven team, wasn't able to get anything going because of that. They couldn't get enough support on the outside, and now we're seeing this with Santa Clara too. Hess is hitting negative. Milton is hitting negative. Clayton is just barely over 120. Right now she's at 125. Between those 3, there's just not a lot going, and that's what good defense will do for you. And the cliche always is, defense wins championships. Well, it's showing itself right here on this first day of the Eugene Sub-Regional.
Absolutely. The offense for Santa Clara just looking dumbfounded. They don't know what to do. Oregon just throwing a lot of different blocks and different formations at them. They keep on changing it up, and that has led to 10 blocks and a lot of just great defense from this Duck squad. Great digs in the back, and Santa Clara has really been fumbling, not really sure where they're going with a lot of balls, and it has really paid off for this Oregon squad. Oregon takes the first 2 sets, 25-15 and 25-17 here in Matthew Knight Arena in the first round of the volleyball playoffs. And we're going to send it to the break. Intermission here in Matthew Knight Arena, and we'll be right back.
Hey, what? Let's do 5.5.
Almost done, Abigail. Come on, Natalie.
Okay, sounds good.
2 so far. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. That's it. Natalie, congratulations. You're our winner tonight. Let's give them a big hand.
Nowhere you're done. You're done through.
court, we have team number 1. Can you wave? Oh, yeah. And team number 2. Each team will begin at the service line. Teammates must transport the volleyball to the baseline and back to the service line without using their hands. The first team to successfully complete the relay and serve the ball over the net will win some prize packs. Fans, of course, you can cheer them on. Team number 1, are you ready? Team 2, how about you? On your mark, get set, go! Team 1 moves pretty quick. Team 1, you won. Congratulations, you won a prize pack. I want a hand for our contestants. This is second of the action. Great seats are still available for the Minneapolis Regional. Visit NCAA.com for more information. NCAA team works as a community-based program driven by the NCAA. Member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners to actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Providing disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, and education support, the NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in each community we visit. For more information, visit ncaa.com/teamworks.
Stop the basket for 1 minute.
Got a headhunter over here.
Ready for set 3 at Matt Knight Arena, day 1 of the 2014 NCAA Division I Championships getting to an end. This is the last match going on today. Everyone else has finished up around the country. There are 4 other sub-regionals playing. This is the 5th, and there are 11 more beginning play tomorrow night. Let's get you up to date on what's happened so far. Oregon, by the way, here up 2-0 on Santa Clara. Meanwhile, elsewhere around the country in the Tucson sub-regional, Arizona knocks off Yale. BYU gets up on Seton Hall. Alabama knocks off Samford and FSU over Jacksonville. That one is in the Tallahassee sub-regional. Down in Austin, Texas, ASU by Texas A&M Texas by Northwestern State. And in Madison, Wisconsin, the Badgers get by Western Michigan. Illinois State over Marquette. So tomorrow it's Illinois State and Wisconsin, Arizona, BYU, Alabama, FSU, ASU, Texas, and LSU will get Oregon or Santa Clara. I'm Ryan Rillard. He's Zach Bigley. Preston Highfield, Jonathan Stahl, and the gang back in our KWVA studios. And also welcoming you, those of you listening on Goducks.com tonight. Zach, Oregon looked pretty good in those first 2 sets. Defensively, offensively, that's as good as we've seen them in a while. And now it's time to finish things off. If you're these Ducks, you want to take as much momentum into tomorrow as you can.
Absolutely. Just look completely dominant there, both defensively and offensively. As you said, they're already out on the floor and they're ready to go. Now Santa Clara will follow, and we're ready for this third set. Everyone's ready here at Matthew Knight Arena. Good crowd, kind of filled in late, but they're here and they're ready. And Oregon needs to continue to play like they have been on the defensive side of the ball. 10 blocks through the first 2 sets, and they played some pretty good ball going forward.
I'll tell you, 20 girls who aren't here anymore, that's LSU. They've seen enough, apparently. They've gone to the conclusion that these Oregon Ducks are the team they're going to see tomorrow. At least that's what I'm assuming, since they're not here anymore. They go on back to the team hotel. They're going to be back here tomorrow. They know for sure for a 4 p.m. match. Chances are right now it's going to be the Oregon Ducks they see, but Santa Clara obviously has some time to make a run if the Broncos want to keep their season alive.
Same situation we saw in the first game. Down 2 sets to none. Oklahoma tried to keep their season alive, could not do it. Let's see if the Broncos can make something different happen here in Eugene, Oregon.
Ready to go in set 3. For Oregon, it was a .407 hitting percentage through 2 sets. Santa Clara 0.56. Kirsten Mead will start things off for the visiting SCU Broncos. Serving away to the back middle for Amanda Benson. Scott comes to take it. Right side set up for Bettendorf. Almost collides with the net, and she does. Just barely tips it, but the down official, Bill Forrester, says she clipped the netting, and it's 1-0 Broncos.
Yeah, Martine just couldn't get to that ball. Poor set there by Maggie Scott, and the Broncos take the 1-0 lead.
Bill Forrester downstairs. John Kenyon, our up official tonight. As the serve across again. Ducks will go left side, set up Chevy. Her swing is long to the back, and Santa Clara up 2-0. And after falling behind 2-0 each of the first 2 sets, Broncos off to a much better start here in the third.
Chevy had a really good first 2 sets, and that's only her second error on the night, hitting .308. Looking to get her going again are the Ducks.
Mead will serve again. The Palo Alto native just drops one in front of Benson. Scott to the right side. Bettendorf, a swing rather, kept up by SCU. They go left side for Clayton, and she's blocked back. And once again, it's Warner and Bettendorf on the stuff. Those two have been unstoppable tonight. Warner has 10 blocks now. Oregon has 11 as a team, and it's 2-1 in favor of the Broncos.
Look who it is. Bettendorf and Warner right back for the Ducks. And Benson will send it over.
They might as well glue themselves together by the end of the night. They've been inseparable as Clayton will take the setup, go down the right sideline, but go wide for SCU. And just like that, 2-0 becomes 2-2 for the Broncos. That lead has gone fast. And Benson will stay on serve, trying to get the Ducks in front in the the light green jersey. Top to bottom for Benson. The libero serves across to Rotman. Mead comes back, bumps it up. Milton a running swing across to Benson on the left side. Scott to the middle. There's Nady pushing it down. Rotman handles. Santa Clara's in the net, though, and it's Oregon's point. They get a violation on Lacey Moss, who's in for the first time tonight, and Santa Clara is down 1. Benson will stay on serve. Left arm straight out in front. Right arm winds and fires away to Milton. Mead comes over, sets up Milton left side. Swing off the block. Scott keeps it up. Bettendorf does the same, and that ball goes over the seats out of play. And Santa Clara pulls even at 3 here in the third set.
Good effort there by both Bettendorf and Maggie Scott. But nevertheless, it is a point for the Broncos, and we are all knotted up at 3.
Sabrina Clayton, the sophomore, will serve. Bettendorf takes it on that right sideline. Scott goes to the right. Bettendorf comes through. Maybe a little miscommunication with her and Nady. It looked like Nady was going to take it, but then Bettendorf basically says, out of my way, please. Comes through, sends it down. Either way, it's a point Oregon, and it's 4-3 Ducks.
Almost looked like a putback dunk there, rising up and just tapping it down right onto the defense of the Broncos.
Nice job by Nady, too, to realize what was happening, get out of the way, and save from any kind of collision as the Broncos come right back. Here's Moss going to the right sideline. They say she went too far wide. Out of bounds it goes, and it's 5-3 Oregon. Ashton will come back in and serve here for Oregon. She served that last one as well. This one a high lob to the front for Clayton. Needle set left side, high ball for Hess is on the back line. Nobody is there for Oregon. That ball just had to drop in bounds, and it did. Nikki Hess with a big kill. That's her first of the third set, and the Broncos back within one at 5-4.
That was a tunnel block there. Nady and August trying to get her to hit cross court. No one was there. She hit over the block, and that's a point and a kill for the Broncos.
Danielle Rotman, the libero, to serve into the back for Brenner. Ash into the middle. That's Nady getting blocked, but that block takes it out of bounds. It's 6-4. Oregon has the lead after the miss hit by Santa Clara. As Chelsea Keoho will come back in and take out Frankie Chevy.
Interesting to see Nia Crittenden not even with her jersey on over there on the Oregon sideline.
She has a jacket on top. I'm pretty sure there's a jersey underneath it, but it's been kind of a different last few weeks for Nia Crittenden. She was the go-to second outside hitter, so to say, rotating with Bettendorf, and it's been Taylor August since the second to last week of the regular season. August, the freshman from Happy Valley, Oregon, had a lot of hype coming in. The 17th ranked player in the country according to PrepVolleyball.com last year. First team All-League 2 years in a row at CHS, Clackamas High School, that is. And the Three Rivers League Player of the Year last year. So much hype on her, and we're finally starting to see it. Plus, injuries kept her out earlier in the year, too. She had some ankle stuff it looked like going on, and so for her, now healthy, starting to make her impact. And when you add up her and Chevy and Scott, the three go-to freshmen in this squad, this future looks bright for Oregon, even when you lose a player like Liz Brenner next year.
Absolutely. You still have Martine Bettendorf coming back and Casey Nady. The future is very bright for this Oregon squad. And Taylor August having a great match. 6 kills, no errors, hitting 500 on the night, as we're having a little bit of confusion out here on the court.
John Wallace, the Broncos head coach, meeting with our down official, Bill Forrest. They're going over a couple things, I believe, on the substitution patterns, trying to figure that all out. It is 6-4 Oregon here in the third. Ducks have the 2-0 lead in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. Winner gets LSU tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time for a chance to go to Minneapolis next weekend. Chelsea Keoho will serve out of timeout. Ducks have the lead by 2. They're going to go up by 3 as Santa Clara can't handle the serve. Down to the floor it goes, and it's 7-4 Ducks.
That float serve just knuckling in on Milton, hit her up in the chest. The poor return, and Oregon takes a 7-4 lead. Santa
Clara is one of the best serving teams in the country, but Oregon right now is turning the tables on the Broncos, up by 3. As Keoho serves again to the back, Clayton will take, Meade goes to the right side, Milton winds and fires off a block. Brenner covers though. Ash in the middle, Nady is blocked by Edwards. Solo stuff by the Broncos. Just their second block of the day, but Edwards comes through the big one, and her good match continues. 6 kills and now a block for Katie Edwards, the redshirt freshman from Playa del Rey, California.
Tough there from Nady. The set coming over her head. She had to adjust, had no vision there, just kind of hit it, hoped it went in, and Edwards was right there for the block.
Now it's Taylor Milton to serve at 7-5 Oregon. Line drive, shoots to the back for Benson. Ashen dumps it over herself.
Oh,
Santa Clara was not ready for that at all, and it's 8-5 Ducks.
What a gorgeous play there by Ashen. Just putting it right in the middle where nobody was. It seemed everyone was surrounding the middle and no one was in the middle, and that's exactly where she put it.
Broncos late to react as Nady will serve at 8-5. Rotman will take. Meade goes to the right side, runs the slide with Edwards. Down the line, Nady fields. Then it's into the net. Hess tried to contest it. Ashen couldn't get to it. And that point goes to SCU. It's 8-6 as Hess and the Broncos go back to serve.
Just too far away from Ashen. She couldn't get up on the ball. Not really a makeable play there from 16 and white.
Hess is still hitting negative, 0-9-1 on the night. Her serve across is to Keoho, rather. Ashen goes left side, sets up Brenner. Shot off the block to the back for Hess. Meade to the right side. Here's Milton with a swing. Blocked back temporarily, kept up by SCU. Left side, Clayton a swing. That's blocked back, and that's not staying up. Down to the floor it goes. Another point for Oregon on another block. That's 11 now for the Ducks. That's 12 actually now for Oregon, and it's 9-6 Ducks here in the third.
Boy, this defense just still putting on a clinic. Just absolutely dominating this Santa Clara Broncos team.
11th block for Serena Warner. Taylor August has 2 now after they team up on that one, and Scott will serve Milton here. Meade to the left side. Clayton a swing. That's on the back line and on the sideline as well. I thought it was out in at least one of those areas, but the line judges on both ends say it's in. That's a kill for Santa Clara, and it's 9-7 Ducks.
Very close call there on the back left corner, but the Broncos get the call there, and they draw within 2.
Clayton's total up to 6 kills, but hitting 0 now. Santa Clara has dropped to 0-4-9 overall, hitting 0 in this third set. As the serve is across from Shepard to Benson. Scott to the left side. That's Bettendorf coming through. Shepard gets it up. Now to the left side, Clayton again to the back line. This time it's clearly out, but a tip called, and it's a point to Santa Clara.
The Oregon bench with their hands up, not believing the call, as a couple calls have gone the Broncos' way and against the Ducks in a row here, and they draw within one now, 9-8, Oregon lead.
Those of you on GoDucks.com saw the replay. Hard to see from there whether there was a minor tip from Brenner or one of the blockers. As the serve comes to Brenner, Scott goes right side. Brenner a tip shot. Moss is there. Now to the middle, it's Nikki Hess, a tip shot over. Bettendorf covers. Scott to the middle. Warner, a quick swing and a kill for Serena Warner. That fast swing through the middle makes it 10-8 Oregon. 3 kills now for Warner to go along with the 11 blocks.
Just that's what Warner's been known for, just that quick swing on the middle and the 2-shot quick set by Scott. Just a great looking play from this Oregon offense as Brenner will go back to serve for the Ducks.
A senior out of Jesuit High School in the Rose City. Runs up, right side, serve away to Hess. In the middle, it's Mead. Leaving it in the middle for Moss. Tip across over. Benson gets to it. Keeps it in the air, but Scott couldn't get over and cover in time. That ball finds the hardwood, and Santa Clara hanging around again. 10-9. Now, it was 10-9 in the second set as well. And then Oregon started to blitz away a little bit later. See if Santa Clara can hang around even longer this time, though, as Mead will serve. That freshman of the year in the West Coast Conference will get it down to Chevy. Here's Warner in the middle, a swing across. Santa Clara keeps it up. Milton tries to tip it over, though, but she cannot do so. Got a little bit tied up with the way she wanted to swing that one, and it's 11-9 Oregon.
Letting out a frustrated yell there was Milton after that. She knew that she wants to have that one back. An easy play there just to tip it over. Couldn't get it done, and the Ducks take a 2-point lead.
Her 9th error, Santa Clara's 24th as the serve is over to Hess. They go right side. Sabrina Clayton gets it over. Brenner, a one-hand up. Scott to Chevy, left side. That one kept up by Rodman. A sliding dig by Mead, but then Bettendorf on the overpass pushes it down, and Oregon gets another point to go up 12-9. So nice defense on both sides, but you can't overpass it to Bettendorf because she'll take care of it.
Absolutely, just putting it right down onto the 10-foot line. Beautiful play there by Bettendorf, rising up and putting it down hard.
Amanda Benson again on that service line at 12-9. Rotman fields in the back. Mead comes up to take it. Left side swing on the way from Milton is covered and dug by Chevy. They go right side. Bettendorf, a swing is blocked. It goes out, though. Clayton couldn't direct it inside the white lines. And 13-9 your score. Oregon in front here in set 3, leading the match 2-0.
Bettendorf hitting right into the block, just hoping and praying it would go out of bounds, and it did. Catches a break there. Oregon goes up 13-9.
Up official John Kenyon moves his arm forward. Amanda Benson will serve it across, and the Broncos will go right side. Sabrina Clayton will take a swing. The block is there for Oregon. Nady and Chevy directed out of bounds, though. It's 13-10 on the kill for Sabrina Clayton. That's her 8th now. Leads all players dressed in black. Bettendorf leads the match overall with 11. Those Clayton a short serve to Benson. They go left side. Chevy awkwardly hits it over. Gets over anyway, though, and then Moss in the middle. Over to Benson, and Scott pushes to the back, sends it wide right, though. Out of bounds, point Santa Clara.
What a great dig by Benson. Boy, that came down hard, and she just got it up. Scott trying to take advantage of the poor defensive shift there by the Broncos, trying to hit the back right corner. Just left it wide right, though.
Another serve coming from Clayton, team's leader in aces, .41%. She's getting closer to knocking an ace down. Not here, though, as Bettendorf comes to her knees to field. They go back to Bettendorf on the setup. That one dug out by Milton on the short set. Now Hess left side. Swing is wide left, out of bounds. Another error for Nikki Hess. That's 9. She and Milton both have 9 misfires. They're both hitting negative. And Santa Clara -3 on the scoreboard right now at 14-11.
On the pregame, we talked about Nikki Hess. She needed to get going for this Broncos team in order to pull up the upset, and hitting -125 won't do it. 233
hitter on the year watches as Oregon puts down an ace. Chelsea Ashen comes in, deposits yet another ace for the Oregon Ducks. They're up 15-11, and we have a timeout on the floor here in Eugene. Ducks starting to get some ground again on these pesky Broncos. They're not going anywhere. Oregon's making it tough on them, though, as well. 15-11. Oregon is in front, trying to close out this match. And surprisingly, we may have 2 sweeps here on day 1. I figured when you get to the tournament, especially with the 4 teams we have here in this Eugene sub-regional, Oregon, Oklahoma, LSU, and Santa Clara, these are all 4 really good teams. I think they could make some noise, and it'd be really surprising if we go away with 2 sweeps on this day.
Yeah, I agree. I think what's interesting, though, is Oregon's record can kind of be interpreted in 2 ways. You can interpret it as a 9-loss team, or you can interpret it as a team that had to go through the Pac-12 and had to play a lot of good teams every single game. And so I think they're showing that they are the dominant team in this match, and it's going to be a great match if they do come out here with the win tomorrow, Friday at 4 o'clock when they take on LSU.
For the Pac-12, one thing you look at, too, USC is the best example of all because the Trojans finished the year 15-15, met the requirement, had to be 500 or over to get in, and maybe any other team in the country that was 15-15 doesn't have that case. But USC, just by playing in the Pac-12 and going through that rigorous schedule, they're in. They're taking on Coastal Carolina tomorrow. They could be the team Oregon sees in Minneapolis if the Ducks get through, potentially. North Carolina is the host team in Chapel Hill down there. That sub-regional begins tomorrow afternoon. USC will go at 1:30. North Carolina will go around 4, or actually I think 3:30 in that one, which could be an interesting sub-regional to follow. ESPN's Maria Taylor says North Carolina is the most overrated team in the tournament. See if USC potentially could leave Chapel Hill with a trip to Minneapolis. We're back in play here, though. Has to swing out of the timeout. A nice setup to her. She goes off the block on the left side of the net, finds the hardwood, and it's 15-12. Hess with kill number 7. And the Broncos down 3 here in Eugene.
Ball ricochets right to my man to my left, trying to get a swing in, Mr. Ryan Rillard, but he had a little air there.
I'm 0 for 1 of the day. Brenner will field the serve here from Rotman. They go right side, slide to Nady. That ball goes off of a sliding Kirsten Mead, out of play. Nady with a kill. That's only her 5th of the night, and I say only because a lot of her teammates have been helping her out in this one. 16-12 Ducks, and Keoho will serve. Chelsea, the transfer from Colorado, first year with the Ducks. Serves from the left side this time, goes cross court to Hess. Mead from the middle, goes right side for Milton. That swing off of Benson will go just into the Oregon bench. Nobody gets to it in time, and Taylor Milton has the kill. San Diego native in her final year with the Broncos, hoping this isn't her final match with SCU. Doing everything she can to help Santa Clara get to tomorrow. Taylor, the San Diego Union Tribune Division III Female Athlete of the Year when she was in high school. Attended Cathedral Catholic. Mom and dad both swam in college. She's found the volleyball court instead. And number 12 in black will stick her left arm out in front of her, toss that volleyball about 15 feet above her head, and then serve across to Benson. Ashton will go to the left side. Brenner comes across and picks up a rocket of a shot. Goes over press row, out of play. Liz Brenner with another kill. Just her 4th, and for Brenner, that's a low total. But again, so much balance, you don't really need her to have a huge night in this one.
I was about to say, you usually see senior Liz Brenner with a lot of swings there, only 4 kills on the night.
Nady will serve at Oregon up 17-13. Hess will go to the left side, take a swing. Nady with a dig. Ashton will bump set Brenner. Right side swing on the way is wide right. Santa Clara did not touch. Down the line, it was Katie Schatzman, new lead of the match, that was getting tempted to go after that Brenner ball, but laid off, and it's 17-14. Santa Clara still hanging around here in the 3rd set. Season's on the line for the Broncos. They need this set and 2 more to get on to LSU tomorrow. Nikki Hess will serve off to that left side of the floor. Keoho fields. Ashton comes over, left side, sets up Brenner. Shot goes off the block. Milton takes it. Rotman bumps up, and Clayton a swing. Tipped over the block to Ashton. Benson will set right side. August comes through. Swing is blocked back, kept up by the Ducks, though, as Ashton goes left side for Brenner. Swing off the block, it's to the hardwood. Point, Oregon.
3 consecutive swings to end the point for Brenner. Picked up a kill and an error, and now picks up her 5th kill, up to 286 on the hitting percentage for number 6 in white.
Maggie Scott will go back to serve. Freshman from Wildwood, Missouri, Lafayette High School. All Pac-12 freshman team honorable mention this year. She'll serve to the back. Milton will take. Mead tries to dump it over. Serena Warner read it perfectly. The block was there, and Warner has 12 blocks tonight. That is a 19-14 lead for Oregon. Another stuff by Warner. Another timeout here called by John Wallace and the Santa Clara bench.
My goodness, have a day, Serena Warner. 3 kills, no errors, hitting 600 on the night, and 11 blocks. Is that a record for her, right?
It's by far a career high for her. Previous career high was 7. That was set this year, earlier this year against Michigan State. Had 7 blocks in that one. She'd done it twice previously. Now she has 11. They get 12 blocks with that solo stuff right there. And Warner is rolling. So are the Ducks. They are still hitting .345, and Santa Clara is still in the sub-100 range at .063. 2 players still hitting negative, a couple players hitting 0 still, and Santa Clara try as hard as they will. They've hung around, but they're just not able to get that sustained rhythm, and this is looking a lot like that first match. Oklahoma so close so many times to breaking through, but they just didn't have enough of a push to completely get through, and Santa Clara is finding that out too here right now.
Yeah, Oregon just looking like the better team, which I think they are, and you just have so much balance on the Oregon offense. You have Chevy with 6 kills, Brenner with 5, Casey Nady with 5, Serena Warner with 3, Bettendorf with 11, August with 6. There's so much balance, hitting .345 as a team, and Martine Bettendorf, not really known as a defensive player, 8 blocks on the night. That's huge for the Ducks going forward if she can continue to play more and more and get her a lot more swings on the offensive side as well.
Bettendorf has a career high in blocks as well with the 8. Her previous high was also 7. The team has had 13 in total. Not necessarily a team known for its blocking. These Oregon Ducks, they have the 19-14 lead and serving out of timeout. Scott will go over to Milton. Mead right side works the slide. Edwards takes it off the block over everybody's heads. And out of play, Katie Edwards continues her impressive night. Give her 8 kills now without an error on 10 swings.
That's where the height of Keoho kind of hurt her there. Only 5'3". She couldn't reach up and get that ball as it went over her head.
Block season high, by the way, if you're wondering, for Oregon is 15. The 5-set win at Hawaii back on September the 5th. This could be done in 3, though, and that would make the 13 blocks very impressive. 19-15. Mary Shepard will serve right side to Brenner. Scott leaves it right. Brenner a swing, cross court. Mead is there to get it up. And Shepard comes through, sets up Milton to swing. Benson the dig. Scott controls the net. Warner comes through. There's a kill for Serena. That's 4 on the night for the senior, previously at Ohio University, second year with the Ducks. She got her 4th kill along with the 12 blocks, and the Ducks up 20-15.
Continues her great night, hitting 6-6-7 on the night. 10 blocks, 2 solo, and 4 kills with no errors.
Yeah, they changed one of those blocks to a solo mid-match, too, so she has those 2, as Zach mentioned. Hessel field to serve here off the point, Oregon. Swing across, dug out by the Ducks. They go right side. Set up Bettendorf. Swings off the block. A diving attempt by Rotman. She gets her hands on it, but that's all she gets. Ball to the floor. Point Oregon. It's 21-15 Ducks.
Bettendorf picks up her 12th kill, hitting .478, leading everyone with 12 kills in the match.
Liz Brenner will serve. Ball comes short in the front to Clayton. They go back to Clayton. Left side swing is blocked back. Block number 13 for Serena Warner, and probably block number 8 for the tandem of Warner and Bettendorf. So much fun to watch, and it's 22-15, and Santa Clara will burn its final timeout.
Guess who, right? Guess who, right up there, 18 and 15 in white, rising above the Twin Towers there, and they're just putting on a show. 11 blocks, 2 solo for Serena Warner, and Bettendorf coming in with 9 assisted blocks. Just an absolutely fun match to watch after watching 2 tough losses in Utah and at Oregon State for the Ducks, coming out and just dominating a lesser opponent in this first round of the playoffs, and it looks like they're going to be on their way to face LSU tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
That's the prize awaiting the winner of this match. LSU sweeping Oklahoma earlier today. Tigers were here for the first 2 sets, disappeared at intermission. They've seen enough. They had a pretty good idea who's coming out of this one, and I think based on the way the scoreboard holds, we will at this point as well. That could be a fun one tomorrow. We'll talk more about it in postgame. For now, though, 22-15. Santa Clara's out of timeouts, up or down by 7 here in Eugene. Ryan Brulard, Zach Bigley with you on KWVA 88.1 FM. Also online, GoDucks.com tonight. Our radio feed is online as well at kwvaradio.org. Preston Highfield, Jonathan Stile back in our studio tonight helping us get on the air. Also have some high school basketball going on KWVA 2 right now, our online-only stream. Santa Clara back on the floor. Oregon's about to join them. Ducks trying to finish off a sweep. It's been a while since these Ducks have gone through in straight sets and finished off a sweep. For Oregon, it's been since the UCLA sweep 4 matches ago. Before that, though, it had been since middle of October. Team doesn't sweep a whole lot of teams, but looking good tonight as Brenner will serve. Tickles the net, crosses over to Hess. They go left side. Clayton a swing. Benson digs it out. Scott to the middle. Warner a swing, and Serena Warner's having herself a hell of a night. Another kill for her off the block. She's got 5 kills now. Oregon's got 23 points, and they're up by 8.
Up the middle, so easy to hit a high percentage. 7-14 for Warner.
Brenner serves to the back for Hess. To the middle they go. Massive swing. Benson gets to it. Warner again in the middle. Hess will dig this one out. Mead to the left side. Clayton will swing. Blocked for a set. Kept up by Chevy. Kept up by Benson. Pushed over by Brenner. Milton will bump it high. Swing from the middle from Moss is blocked. Serena Warner. 14 blocks for her tonight. Frankie Chevy joins her on there. And match point has arrived for the Oregon Ducks.
My goodness, have a night for the senior Serena Warner. Liz Brenner will send it over.
Brenner with a serve rather. They go to the middle. Moss a tip over. Benson gets to it for a sec. Brenner 3 balls over. Let's go live. No, they're going to say it's a 4-hit violation now for Oregon. Still got under that though somehow. Match stays alive. It's 24-16. Set point number 2 match point number 2 upcoming.
Still a great athletic play there from Liz Brenner. Fortunately, doesn't count. It's 24-16, now Oregon in the lead.
Kirsten Mead, the setter, will serve to the back. Benson will take. Scott to the left side. Chevy tries to end it, and she does. Frankie Chevy the kill, and Oregon has swept away Santa Clara. It's Oregon and LSU tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. for the chance to go to Minneapolis. And the Ducks come out, and they look like a team we haven't seen in a while. A very impressive showing from these Oregon Ducks. They knock off the Broncos, and here comes a good matchup tomorrow at Matt Knight Arena.
If they come out and they play like they did tonight, just dominating on both sides of the ball, it's going to be a great match. We saw LSU completely dominate on both sides of the ball as well against Oklahoma earlier this afternoon, but it's going to be a good one tomorrow at 4.
Santa Clara's season unfortunately comes to an end. Broncos finished 22-10, had a lot of great wins in there, and a lot of great players coming back for John Wallace and his squad. Katie Schatzman, one of the seniors on this bunch. The others, Chloe Sliger also gone. Taylor Milton has finished her career at Santa Clara as well. In this match, SCU hits just 0-5-7. They could not get anything going. 2 hitters finished negative, including the leader, Nikki Hess. 7 kills, 9 errors, hits negative 0-7-7. Milton, negative 115 with 6 kills and 9 errors. Sabrina Clayton, a good match, 8 kills for her. Really nice match for Katie Edwards, the redshirt freshman, 8 kills, no errors on 10 swings and a block. Santa Clara, though, just didn't have an answer for Oregon's defense. It was an impressive showing tonight for the Ducks.
Absolutely. Martine Bettendorf and Serena Warner just absolutely dominating the Twin Towers up there as Oregon takes a victory lap behind us, acknowledging the student section. And Jim Moore comes up right in front of us, and he acknowledges the pit crew as well. It was just an all-around great night for this Oregon squad, great night for these fans here in Matthew Knight Arena as they really filled the place in towards the beginning of the game, and they'll leave happy tonight.
Final stats for Oregon. Martine Bettendorf leads the way in the kills department with 12, hitting .478 in the process. Oregon as a team hit .367. It's been a while since they've been that high. Taylor August had some flashes, 6 kills and no errors for a .462 mark. 5 kills each for Warner, Nady, and Brenner. Chevy had 7 to finish things off, including that final kill right there. 20 assists for Maggie Scott, 13 assists for Chelsea Ashen, and what a night it was on the blocking side of things. 15 total blocks for the Oregon Ducks, and 11 assists and 2 solos for Serena Warner in this one. Martine Bettendorf, a career-high 10 blocks as well. And we talked about, it was obvious. Oregon just had no presence at the net on Friday in Corvallis, and granted a different team to go against here in Santa Clara, but still, when you turn it around that much, it's so impressive what this team did in its week of practice trying to turn things around and reverse their fortunes.
And a lot of that comes with the fight and the mental aspect of the game. Interesting, I thought that up in Corvallis they'd be ready, a rivalry game going against Oregon State. They'd be ready mentally, want to come out and absolutely just dominate the Beavers, as they should have, I think the better team. But the Beavers came out and they showed their fight that they wanted in a rivalry game, upset the Ducks. Here, the Ducks put out their mental fight and really just took it to the Broncos, and it showed. And I hope, for the Ducks' sake, that they'll do that again tomorrow against LSU.
Yeah, LSU and Oregon get to do it tomorrow, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Both teams will come in off of sweeps. LSU dispatching Oklahoma earlier today, and Oregon obviously just knocking off Santa Clara here. And it's going to be a good matchup. SEC versus the Pac-12, not quite the sport most people talk about when they think SEC Pac-12 comparison. That's often talked about in the football world, but a chance to see it on the volleyball court as well. And obviously there's going to be some intrigue there. For Oregon, lots of good blocking. The question is, how much is LSU's block going to come through? Because you look at Brianna Holman on that LSU Tiger roster, and that is scary to watch.
She was dominant. She was absolutely dominant in this first game on both sides of the ball. Leader of that team in blocks and kills. And boy, even in warm-ups, you and I were watching, she was putting it straight down, and she can hit very hard. Some of the hardest hits we've seen all year from anybody. And so I think matching them with her and Lindelof and Leak as well, even Tillis on the outside, it's going to be a great matchup. They're really going to have to keep them off balance with the defense, show them a lot of different looks, and try to get up in their face like they did tonight.
You've been saying a lot of names. That's because both these teams are very well balanced offensively as well, and so it's going to be about keeping that going. And obviously, I think the net is going to be huge tomorrow. It's got to be about who can block better, who can at least divert shots and keep things going. The back rows can't be exhausted tomorrow because they're going to get a lot of work anyway as it is. You got Holman, like you mentioned. You got Tillis, Katie Leak, all those hitters for LSU, and I'm leaving out quite a few as I do this right now. Oregon obviously has its share as well. The question is, how good is LSU's block? Can it stack up with a Pac-12 team? Can it really get up there and stuff it back? We'll see. That's going to be the key 4 p.m. tomorrow. That match will be both on KWVA 88.1 FM, KWVAradio.org, and on the GoDucks.com live stream as well. All three are your options tomorrow. We'll get pregame going right around 4 o'clock with you, so we're excited. That match is for a trip to Minneapolis for a chance to see the winner of the Chapel Hill Sub-Regional. We won't know that by tomorrow. We'll only know who has won the first round matches, as that regional is going to start a day later over there in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. But a chance to go to Minneapolis on the line for one of these two teams. LSU hasn't gone to the Sweet 16 since 1992. Chance for them to do that in Oregon after going there 2 years ago is trying to get back after losing in the second round last year. Been a lot of fun. Good day of volleyball here in Eugene. Gotta love it when tournament time comes around. Lots of people to thank. First of all, the GoDucks.com crew back underneath Matt Knight Arena. Scott LeBounty and his crew do a great job tonight in our KWVA studios. Jonathan Stile, Preston Highfield held it down. And for my partner, Zach Bigley, I'm Ryan Rillard. Thanks so much for hanging with us. It's been a great first day of volleyball. Can't wait for day 2 tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific. LSU and Oregon going in it. But for now, we sign off from Matt Knight Arena. This has been Oregon Volleyball on KWVA Eugene, 88.1 FM and GoDucks.com.